Today's topic is the 5 P's of nonfiction writing for experts. My name is Ashley Mansour. I run LA Writing Coach, my writing section of my business, and Brands Through Books. We help people write, publish, market, and launch their books to bestseller status so that they can have the impact they desire, the audience they desire, the income that they desire, and of course, grow their businesses to the next level. It's what I'm all about. I'm super passionate about helping people create thriving, profitable businesses that reflect their skills, their expertise, their talents, and ultimately their why. And the way that we do that is through a high impact book. So let's get into the 5 P's. I'm ready, and I hope you're ready too. If you're watching this, make sure that you take some notes. These are really, really key learnings for you that you can apply to your very own books. Okay, so let's get into the first P. The first P is purpose. Now, we talk a lot about purpose-driven writing. This is the why behind the book. To be a high impact book, okay, to create a high impact book, you need to be clear on your purpose. You need to understand, what is the demand for the book? Why does this topic matter, and how does it aim to help people? Valuable nonfiction does just that. It helps people. And so we want to make sure that you've got a clear purpose in mind that's going to actually do that, okay? So more than just what your purpose is, we need to understand, what is the book actually delivering? Why does that matter? And how does this relate to your expertise as author? Okay, so think about what lights you up. What do you know? What have you mastered? What do you care about? And a clear purpose also means knowing beyond all of those things, how are you going to share that in a meaningful way with others? Well, thank goodness there's the other 5 P's as well, which we're going to be diving into throughout the training, because we're going to break all of that down. But what I want to share with you is beyond the purpose of the book, in terms of what is it going to do for readers, okay? You also need to take purpose to a deeper level and understand, what do I want my book to do for me? You got to get clarity on this. And so many nonfiction experts and coaches and speakers that I talk to don't have a good, clear idea of exactly what they want the book to do for them yet. This is something that you get to work on and develop. So I want you to get really, really clear on what is your purpose for the book. How do you see it helping others, but also how do you see it helping you in your business? How do you see it helping bring you premium clients? How do you see it getting you on stages or landing that TEDx talk? How do you see it attracting media attention, getting you on podcasts, or maybe catching the eye of that influencer you've been following for about a decade, but have been too nervous to reach out to, right? Whatever it is, the book is your tool to do it. And so get clear on what your purpose is and what you want the book to do for you first and foremost, okay? Now, when we talk about purpose, I want you to think big. I want you to think about, if I could wave a magic wand and have my book do anything for me, what would I love it to do? Who do I want to endorse the book? Who do I want to notice me in the market? What kind of clients do I want to attract? What does my business feel like when I have that high impact book out there and best selling? Think big. Too many people limit themselves to a very small purpose. And so permission to expand, permission to open that up and get a great big old purpose, okay? So think about that. Let's go to number 2, okay? Now, number 2, the second big P for nonfiction book writing for experts is personality, all right? This is your unique voice. Every expert has a particular way of saying what they know, of articulating their expertise. It's your voice, it's your style, it's what makes you you. It's why people choose to work with you over the many other people in your space. They hire you for your personality. They like you, they know you, they trust you, they want to be in your sphere. The book gets to be an extension of that. Okay, so we don't want a flat personality in the book. I want you to bring the high energy. I want you to tell all the key stories. I want you to make it vibrant and exciting. That's what it should be. Now, if you don't have your voice or your personality in the book, it's going to be very flat. So if you don't have your voice or personality in the book, it's going to feel super flat for readers. They're going to mentally check out. They're going to decide, this is a little bit dry. This is a little bit textbooky. Okay, so we need to bring your personality into the language and infuse it on every single page. Now, I really love helping experts do this because I get to do it from the perspective of a fiction author and someone that's worked in film and entertainment. So I get to bring my entertainment storytelling skills into the mix and help people enliven their books and enrich their books from that point of view. And that is very gratifying for me because many experts, frankly, don't know how to make their content interesting, and they're not really sure how to spin it so that readers can digest it and actually crave more from them. Okay, so what are some of the techniques for personality? Well, I'll drop a few for you to start thinking about. Now, we don't, again, want the book to be dry or boring, so we need to use things like humor. We need to bring in quotes. We need to have anecdotes. We need to be telling a little bit of our story and the story of people that we've worked with, the stories of people that we've helped and inspired, the stories of people that have hired us and gotten amazing results. We want those stories trickled into the work. The other piece of it is you get to mix it up, okay? So you can mix it up with all sorts of different references to things you've lived, taught, experiences that you've shared or had, places you've traveled, places you've been. Enrich that text, people. That's what we want to do. So think about your personality and imagine you're having a conversation with a friend. What would you say about the topic? How would you hold their attention? How would you keep them engaged? And that's what we want to be doing with personality. So perspective is your point of view. It's your way of seeing the world. It's your unique lens on your idea, your topic, your information, whatever it is that you teach. And so it's your unique way of thinking about what you do. That's your perspective, okay? And so perspective is really important for nonfiction because every nonfiction author has a unique perspective, okay? So perspective is not just the way that you see the world. It's also the way that you do the work that you do. It's your way of helping people. So really, really important to think about what's my unique point of view? How do I think about this topic differently from others? What makes me unique? What are my USPs? What are my differentiators? And so what I was saying earlier was, take me, for example, I have a very unique perspective on book writing. This actually goes against the grain of what a lot of other people teach, but that's what makes me different. And that's ultimately why people come to me. So you want to share what makes you different or unique and not hold back. Okay. So perspective. Now, the one thing I want to say about perspective is that intrigue or curiosity is ultimately why people buy the book, but perspective is what keeps people reading the book, okay? Your perspective is why they lean in. Your perspective is why they subscribe to your socials. Your perspective is why they show up to your courses and participate in your masterminds. Your perspective is what they're there for. So it's why they keep reading and it's why they want more. Curiosity, intrigue, yep, that gets them in, nice, but perspective keeps them going. Okay, so it's really important that you embrace your perspective, even if it's a little off kilter, it's different. All of that is good and should be part of the book. Okay, so that's perspective. That was number 3. Now I want to get into the 4th element. Okay, the 4th element for you. Now, this is probably one in the nonfiction space. My experts, my coaches, my speakers, my consultants, y'all are very familiar with this. So it's going to be something that you will do naturally anyway in your business. And the good news is you get to do it in a slightly different way, perhaps in the book. Okay. So the 4th big piece is persuasion. Okay. So persuasion is really powerful in the book because, of course, once you share your perspective and you have your argument in the book, you want your reader buying into that. You want them saying, yep, I like that point of view. I want to learn more and I'm on board with it, right? So you need to persuade them to do that. So persuasion allows people to lean in, adopt your perspective, your point of view, and it ultimately invites them to finish the book and seek out more from you because they're persuaded to your way of thinking about the topic, right? So you can think of persuasion in multiple different ways, but ultimately think of it in nonfiction as needing to get your reader on board with your argument or your message, right? Your point of view. That's what you want the reader to buy into. Now, there's a number of techniques we can use to do that. And many of them you already know, but the most powerful and important one, especially in nonfiction, is storytelling. If you don't tell powerful stories, nobody's going to be able to lean in and kind of understand and see themselves in those stories. So we use stories to persuade. They connect emotionally, they register and light up all different parts of the brain. And so there's a really powerful connector between story and persuasion, which is why even in nonfiction, we need to utilize this tool. So you'll notice books that do this really well tend to be very popular and show up on the New York Times bestseller list. They're getting sold, bought and sold, and reviewed very well. But books that lean away from this tend to be more dry and tend to lose their readership, right? Even if there is valuable information being shared. So we absolutely need story to persuade. Okay? So those are the 4. I've got one last one for you. And this one is, again, a big one. Okay, so I wanted to end on, something that I believe in so powerfully and that I know you want for yourselves and your books and your businesses as well. So the 5th big P is progression. We need our books to progress. That means they got to move. We're not talking about a flat line. We're talking about an arc. Books need to be a journey for the reader from start to finish. They need to have a narrative progression. Okay? And if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Books have to have the through line that goes from start to middle to end, right? We've got to hook, pull, and convert that reader through the book. That's what it is designed to do. So books can't be a flat line, right? The narrative arc must be there. They need to have the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows. And ultimately, they need to have that development, that evolution. The reader must feel a sense of progress, a sense of the dominoes stacking up, right? That's part of what they want and desire from you, is for the argument of the book to progress. If they feel like it's not going anywhere, they're going to lose interest and wonder, ultimately, is this reading time I'm spending going to be worth it? Which is not really what you want them to be thinking, right? So narrative progression is important. And it also means that we need to create that cohesive journey through the structure of your book from Act 1 to 2 to 3, beginning, middle, and end. Now, I said again about the readers, what's going on in their mind. Remember, they crave the progression. They want to see and feel the advancement of the topic and the ideas. They want you to take them deeper. They once they're bought in and they're hooked, they're ready to ride with you. They want to go all the way and they want to experience and understand the topic in depth. And so your book is an opportunity for them to go deeper. So we need to feel the progression. Now, why is this important? Because if you think about your readers, they need that feeling of progress. They want progress in their lives. They want progress in their health. They want progress in their relationships. They're coming to nonfiction for progress. So that must be built into the bones of the book. That thing has to move. And we talk about this all the time in my accelerator program. We talk all about making sure that the book develops, that there's movement, and we sense the progression from chapter to chapter and on and so forth until the end, right? And when editors don't see that, they typically will pick it up and say, all right, we need to progress the argument. We need to further the argument because that's what's keeping the reader engaged and getting them the outcome you desire for them, okay? So to recap, our 5 P's of nonfiction writing for experts. What do we need to be thinking about? Number 1 is purpose, clear purpose of the book, clear purpose for your readers, clear purpose for you of how you're leveraging the book in your business. Number 2, personality. You want the readers to hear you, feel you, understand you, get to know you, be entertained by you. The 3rd is perspective, really understanding how you think, how you see the world, what makes you different, what makes you unique, sharing your perspective. Persuasion, you got to bring people into your world and into your way of thinking. Get them indoctrinated to your beliefs and your ideas, because that's what's going to create the transformation for them. Okay. And then the last piece is progression. The book must be an arc and not a flat line. As soon as that content flatlines, your readers are going to check out and go turn on Netflix. Okay. So this is what we've got to work ahead. And it's really, really important to be thinking about as you create your material.